Hi everyone, and welcome back to day 2 of 12 Days to Clarity. Today we're unwrapping a key to report flexibility. How to keep one clean report and still show your data in different chart types, depending on what people want to see. Well, very often you're going to start with the same data set, and you'll want to show, for example, actual versus plan and maybe previous year by months. But not everyone would like the same view. Some people can prefer a more simple monthly trend. Others would like a waterfall chart. And if we drill down into days, a line chart would then be more useful for the more detailed data. Well, first let's start with the native experience. So I have a simple model where I have my revenues, my actuals, and my plan. And I also have, of course, my previous year and everything built down with the calendar by dates, months, quarters, and so on. So in native Power BI, if I want to keep things very simple, I would just build a custom column chart just like this. And let's make it a little bit bigger and move it down here. Now, how I'm going to build it is I'm going to put my actuals under my y-axis and also my plan. There we go. So this way we can at least compare one to the other. Now into the x-axis, I can put my dates. And what I would like to do is I put my date, I would like to put my month and my quarter to create a sort of hierarchy. And then of course I'll enable the drill down setting so I can move up and down through all of our different categories. Now I do have a chart here that shows me my monthly revenues versus my plan in different colors. But if I would want to make this really useful, I would normally then have to format all the colors for actual, plan, and maybe previous year if I had one, adjust all the data labels, axis scaling, and of course the legend. Well, then if I'd also want to highlight the variances, I would have to calculate them and usually visualize them in a different chart. And now here comes the important part. If I would also want to show this in a waterfall, to explain how we move from A to B, or a line chart for daily trends, I would need separate visuals. Right now, daily trends look like this. Each one of these visuals I would have to format again, I would have to build again, because as they are, they just don't show us what we need to understand this data. And now I won't go and build all of these here, but the point is that every new view means another visual to create and another visual to maintain. Well, now let's switch to Zebra BI. Let's make this a little bit smaller and put it to the side like this. Now let's add a Zebra BI chart. Again, I'm going to make it a bit bigger and put it here. All right. Now we're going to populate the fields again, and we're going to do it very similar to what we did before, but we are going to keep track of all of the placeholders the Zebra BI already gives us. First of all, I'm going to take my actuals and I'm going to put it under values, and I'm going to take my plan and I'm going to put it into plan. Okay, things have already started happening, but before we check it out, let's also add our date to the categories, our months to the categories, and our quarters to the category, just like we did before. Enable drill down, and now let's look at our monthly view. So with this one setup, I already have more insight than in the native column chart. And if I break the axis here, we're going to see this even more. I can see the trend, I can see where we're above or below plan, and I know by how much. Well, this is a good starting point. Now let's look at what happens when people prefer different views. On the side of the visual, there is a chart slider. With this slider, I can change how the same data is shown without adding another visualization. For example, if someone wants to understand monthly contributions, we see a waterfall chart. We're still seeing the sales revenues, but the amount by month can now become steps of variances that move the result up or down. Perfect when you want to explain how we arrive to the final number. Now, if another person prefers a more compact, integrated variance chart like this, we can go to this layout. You can see that in the background we have our plan, we have our actuals in front, and all of the absolute and relative variances right above. Now, if we had daily data instead of monthly data, so if we switch, this is now hard to see. And what we would like to do is have something like a line chart, or maybe even an area chart. With many categories, a line chart is often easier to read than dense columns, and the slider lets me make the switch in seconds. Now, we could of course make this a lot better if we would just add another slicer here with our months, let's say. Okay, let's just make it a little bit better and make it a drop down like this. Can also make it smaller now, like that. And if we would choose a single month, you can see the difference in the visualization that we get from one to the other. You're going to be able to see this approach in high performance reports all the time. In a sales dashboard, let's say, where monthly performance might be shown as an integrated variance chart, just like we did here, or contributions to the PVM analysis style breakdowns as a waterfall, or of course a bridge chart. And of course, more detailed metrics like, let's say, gross margin percent in, of course, line charts. All of these are based on the same measures and can be handled by the same chart slider or same visualization, instead of creating multiple different separate visuals that you need to uphold. So to wrap up day number 2, in native Power BI, one dataset usually leads to multiple visuals when you need columns, waterfalls, or line charts. With Zebra BI charts, you can build one visual, map your measures once, and then just use the chart slider to switch between integrated variance chart, waterfalls, bridge charts, line charts, area charts, well, depending on what you're discussing and what best communicates your message. The data stays the same, it only changes how the message is presented. So now I'll ask you, what aspect of the chart slider do you think would be most valuable to your team? The maintenance time that you save, or the increased user adoption from, well, people just having the visuals that they like? Tell us in the comments below. And if you want to try this on your own report, you can start a free trial of Zebra BI for Power BI from the link in the description below. So this was day 2 of Zebra BI's 12 Days to Clarity. In day 3, we're going to look at Zebra BI cards and how to turn KPIs into clear, compact stories. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.